And always good to see Michael Cruz, Jim Moore, guys that we're very, very familiar with. I want to remind you that the pregame show is brought to you by Neighborhood Alliance, improving the lives of Lorain County residents every day. We also want to welcome in and thank the audience from WLCS TV 20. I don't believe they are tuning in on that YouTube station live, and then you can watch it on WLCS TV 20 later on. That is on Spectrum Cable 1025. And as always, Joe Bach does all that. So thanks to Joe for using our audio tonight. You can check out Lorain Schools TV 20 on Facebook for all your entertainment and informational needs. Follow us on Twitter at LCS_TV 20. And again, that YouTube station, just type in Lorain Schools TV 20. So great to be here at Lorain High, Jared, and I think we're going to see a good one.
Looking forward to it. You mentioned Joe Bach's work with TV 20 for all these years. Incredible programming that he brings to Spectrum subscribers. But again, guys like Rocco Nucci with us who aren't very familiar with the area have learned a lot about the history of Lorain sports, and not just sports, but other things that go on as far as school functions that you see on the TV 20 YouTube page, the news content, the assemblies, things like that, that really are able to just sort of find people just if they're around here, if they're out of state, if they're out of the area, that they want to harken back to some of those memories. Really easy to do with that YouTube page.
Well
YouTube
said.
Channel.
Jalen Carrington will jump center for Lorain. She is joined in the center circle by Micaiah Moore. And Moore tips it to DeAsia Smith, and we are underway. DeAsia is the leading scorer for Maple Heights. DeAsia loses control, and it's knocked away. Christina Sturdivant runs it down by midcourt. Sturdivant with the basketball, man-to-man defense for Lorain. She hands it off. Well, that was a double dribble, got away with. Shanila Bird Van Horn with the basketball, and we have a whistle and a foul. Michael Cruz with the first call of the day. And it goes against the Lorain Titans. Jared, they didn't put the number on the board, so I'm not sure who that foul was on. But it went on Lorain, their first team foul. And the inbound for the Mustangs. First possession of the game, 30 seconds into it. Bird Van Horn lost control of it and stolen away by the Titans. Mustafa with the basketball. She'll pass ahead to Miranda Smith. Miranda Smith drives in, put it up, no, but she was fouled. Nice aggressive move to the basket by the 5'6" junior. Foul on Shanila Bird Van Horn is her first, team second. And Jada Morales Smith at the line for two. Now, I don't have free-through numbers on the stats that Mark Feldman provided, but Morales Smith makes that one her first point. And we've got an early sub into the ball game for Maple Heights as Jaquay Clark, 5'8" senior, checking in. Morales Smith swishes both free throws. Lorain now goes into their full court pressure. 2-0 Titans. Mustangs have to be able to handle the pressure if they want to have an opportunity in this one. Sturdivant gets it across midcourt. Christina Sturdivant is double teamed into the front court, in trouble, and we're going to get a jump ball and a possession arrow to Lorain. So, Jared, sometimes I think people think when you put pressure on, you've got to get that turnover in the backcourt. But how many times do you see it? Once they get in the front court, you can still have turnovers off of that.
Well, especially when you're trying to identify who's going to be the primary ball handler for Maple Heights just a minute into the ball game.
Yeah.
That can play a role as well when you talk about getting across midcourt.
With the basketball is Kayla Mosley. Mosley for the Titans gets it on the right wing. Carrington with it. Man-to-man defense for Maple Heights. Back outside, the jumper from Witt goes up. It's a three, it's no good. They battle for the rebound, and it'll come down to Bird Van Horn. She'll throw it away, and that'll go to Lorain. So she got the basketball in the backcourt, trying to get it over to DeAsia Smith, who I think Maple Heights wants to have bring the ball up. She simply threw it away. Titans to inbound, and it's going to be Kayla Mosley to trigger. Got it into Simone Witt, kicks it back outside to Carrington. Carrington on the drive to the hole, put it up. It's in and out, no good. They battle for the board. It goes out of bounds to who? Michael Cruz says that will go to Maple Heights. Tanae Taylor to inbound for Maple. Mustangs with the basketball, pass in the backcourt. Again, pressure and a travel. Yes, sir. Tanae Taylor, little hippity hop, and Michael Cruz caught her.
3 turnovers right now for the Mustangs, just a minute and a half basically into this one. Gives Lorain a shot here underneath their own hoop to inbound.
3 turnovers and no shot attempts, I don't believe. Witt with the basketball, and she traveled. So a little bit of a sloppy start to this one. 6:18 to go in the opening quarter, 2-0. After we're done, Blue Jackets hockey, as the Blue Jackets are on a West Coast swing. They're actually up in Canada. They're going to take on the Edmonton Oilers. 9 o'clock pregame, as the Blue Jackets will be out there. Then later on in this trip, we'll have them as they go to Seattle. Boy, the Kraken are the surprise of the NHL this year. With the basketball, Danae Smith, and she lost it out of bounds. It'll be Maple Heights basketball.
I had my first chance to see some Kraken gear the other night when we were over at Avon High School, but you're right. They are surprising some teams, and Columbus, tough sledding right now.
No doubt about it. They get it into the forecourt. Maple Heights with the basketball, trailing 2-0. Where the basketball is Deasia Smith. Smith, the sophomore, goes to the hole. No, but she was fouled. And that'll be on Amina Mustafa, her first. Team second. We're going to get a couple of free throws for Deasia Smith, a 5'6" sophomore. Maple Heights comes into the ball game with a record of 3-12. Lorain has played 2 more games than that. They are 9-8 overall.
It's strange, we're looking kind of almost next week will be the end of January, and you're right, Rob, that tournament draw is going to approach us on Sunday, and you think to yourself, wow, 17 games sounds like so many, but really, I guess the calendar's kind of sneaking up on us, and when January is at its end, that's a good thing.
Wonder what was wrong. Jim Moore walked over with the basketball, handed it off to one of the assistant coaches for Lorain, and grabbed a new basketball. That's kind of interesting. You don't see that every day.
Deflategate here at Lorain.
Well, they were wiping it down. I wonder if some moisture got on the basketball. But anyway, free throw up by Denasia Smith is no good. Score remains 2-0 Lorain, 5:55 to go in quarter number 1. Rob Polinsky, Jared Kozar, live from Lorain High School, girls varsity basketball. Our first look at the Titans. Deasia Smith made 1 out of 2 and cuts the lead to 2-1. And Amina Mustafa into the forecourt, gets it to Mosley. Mosley carried the basketball. Boy, in this turnover fest, the first 2 minutes continues. We must have 5 or 6 between the two teams.
5. We're at 5 right now. 2 from Lorain, 3 from Maple Heights, and you'll see again with the pressure of Lorain, it might cause another one.
And they do. Travel in the backcourt. Tanae Taylor upset, and Denisha Coward in her 6th year as head coach of the Mustangs, not happy. Mosley looking to trigger. Looking, bounces it to Witt all alone, lays it in. Boy, that was nicely done. Simone Witt got open, and it's 4-1 Lorain. Smith with the basketball. She gets fouled in the backcourt. That's on Mustafa. That's her second. Boy, that's the one problem when you press, Jared, is you can pick up some fouls. And right there, Mustafa with 2. She's going to have to come out. Right,
you're at that point 65 feet away from the bucket on the other end. But again, it's risk reward. And when you've forced 4 turnovers here in the first quarter, maybe you keep rolling with it.
Delisha Prushinsky comes in off the bench. Normally she starts. The senior out there on the floor. So Prushinsky is out there defensively. The 3 ball on the left side is no good by Smith. Rebound is going to come down, and being held was Carrington. Carrington got the rebound for Lorain, and then she was fouled by one of the Mustangs. Brzezinski gets it ahead to Mosley. Mosley with the basketball. Mosley got it to Morales Smith, and she traveled. 5:08 to go in quarter number 1. We're off to a slow start as Lorain leads it by a score of 4-1. And pressure in the backcourt. Titans get a steal. They get it ahead. Morales Smith put it up, no good. Witt with an offensive rebound. Simone put it up, no, but she's fouled. She'll shoot a couple of free throws. Simone Witt, a sophomore, will go to the free throw line. And foul on Deasia Smith, her first, team's 3rd.
4-1 sounds a lot like a baseball softball score, maybe. Speaking of some baseball news, good to see that they recovered Terry Francona's scooter. That's back in the fold. So when Tito's going down to East 4th in the ballpark and everything else around that neck of the woods, we'll have the scooter.
Well, good. Now I'll be able to sleep tonight knowing that Terry got his scooter back.
Trying to keep you up to date on current events.
I appreciate it. No, it's fine. You helped me.
Okay.
Simone Witt missed them both, and the rebound was hauled in by Jaquay Clark of Maple Heights. Gets it to Bird Van Horn. Her pass ahead goes through a couple of defenders. They get it up. Deasia Smith laid it up and in. Smith with all 3 Maple Heights points. They trail 4-3, 4:40 to go in the quarter. On the drive for Lorain, putting the shot up, missing it was Prashinsky. And they battle for the rebound. They got knocked out of bounds. Jim Moore says that basketball belongs to the Mustangs.
Would you have preferred he'd been without the scooter, Rob? Is that it?
No.
It sounded like it.
Hadn't ever given it a thought.
Okay.
If that's what makes Terry happy, then God bless him. Keep him happy. Inbounds to Bird Van Horn, goes out of bounds. It'll be Lorain basketball. It's our first broadcast of basketball this week. On Friday night, we've got a boys game. Rocco Nucci, Jared Kozar, Avon at North Ridgeville. That could be a very good basketball game. And then a couple of games on Saturday. A girls game, we're on Janssen, Jared, Midview at Avon Lake. And then I'll travel down. The shot goes up and in, making that as Mosley her first 2, 6-3 Lorain. And then Saturday afternoon, a 4:30 start. It'll be Amherst and Keystone as the Titans get a steal. And they pass it ahead. So 4 games, which is kind of typical for us. Maybe a little bit different that we waited till Wednesday to get this week started as far as our game coverage. But Cavs played last night. That had something to do with it.
I was just fine with us waiting until Wednesday this week.
I kind of liked it too, you know.
So, yeah, that maybe it's consolidated that back half of the week. But, yeah, we'll take a girls' game tonight, another night off, and then you got Friday, and then bang, bang on Saturday. Well, that's a strong week.
Yeah, it is. And then with that game being in the afternoon, it gives us an opportunity to do a couple other things Saturday night. We'll talk about that as the broadcast goes on. Prashinsky knocks it out of bounds. 3:55 to go in the first quarter. Lorain leads 6-3. Again, we want to welcome in all the viewers who are on the YouTube station on TV 20, part of Lorain City Schools Television. Joe Bach here using our audio with his video. Again, Joe and WLCS TV 20 do such a good job here for Lorain City Schools. Inbound for the Titans. They're going to throw it into the backcourt. Prashinsky runs it down. Under 4 minutes to go in the quarter. Titans with the ball in a 3-point lead. Pass in the corner. The 3 ball goes up and in. And that's Jalen Carrington, her first points of the night. And Lorain leads 9-3, their biggest lead of the night. Maple Heights throws it away. And with the steal is Prashinsky. Pass for Simone Witt. Bird Van Horn went for the steal, didn't get it. I think she hurt her thumb. As she went for the steal, Jared, she knocked it away, fell down, and now she's holding on to that thumb. And I think she's asking to come out, but we'll see. Somebody else came into the game. It's Christina Sturdivant came back in, but she didn't replace Van Horn. Anyway, with the basketball, we've got Jamise Green, who just checked in. She travels.
Yeah, she's looking over to the bench as if is help going to come, and it's just not going to happen right now. So if she got a jam thumb or something along that line, she's literally going to have to play through it.
Playing through it. Kind of what you and I have to do day to day, Jared. There's not any help coming.
Now, we knew that before, though. She's thinking to herself, wait a second, normally this is where I just make that motion and somebody comes in and helps. It doesn't happen here.
Prashinsky with the basketball. Prashinsky goes cross court, got it to Jada Morales-Smith. In the corner, 3 ball goes up. It's off the rim, no good by Carrington. Carrington made one earlier, missed that one. And Maple Heights with the basketball as they get it ahead to Sturdivant. Christina Sturdivant on the 3-point line, picks up her dribble, looking for a teammate. She is going to hand it off now to Jamise Green. Green gives it to Deasia Smith. Top of the key 3, rim no. Rebound, loose on the floor, jump ball. Arrow in favor of Maple Heights. Subs coming in. Boy, Lorain subs 4 girls. Coming in for the Titans. is Anaya Pamplin. Also coming into the basketball game is Delasia Nixon. As they inbound it, the 3-ball goes up, no good by Sturdivant. And coming into the game, getting that rebound is Janasia Nelson Riley. She'll get it to Prashinsky. Her pass to the other young lady that just came into the game, Nakia Herman. Jumper goes up, it's a 3, it's no good, and it's out of bounds to Maple Heights. 2:11 to go in the slow-moving first quarter. Titans lead 9-3. Lorain Titans trying to get to 10-8 on the season. They've got a tough one Saturday over at Cleveland Heights. And then the girls division tournament draw is this Sunday. Sturdivant in the backcourt in real trouble, and she gets a whistle, and I believe Maple Heights takes a timeout.
Yeah, saved that possession with a 30-second timeout, and probably a pretty good look there when you're thinking about Coach Cowart and just seeing a player that was going to turn the ball over. Said, well, let's get rearranged and talk about it.
Yeah, you got 5 of them. Use one there, so we'll keep it here. It's a short 30-second timeout. And Lorain leads at 9-3, Jared, with 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. And I think the story of the game so far would be the Lorain defense. They have caused multiple turnovers for Maple Heights early on.
We're talking 10 turnovers total. Some of those not the self-inflicted variety, but certainly the defense, that pressure has been tough for them to figure out here in the early goings of this contest. We talk about that, Rob, a chance to get 10 wins here at home. That's something pretty big in and of itself, I think, for Mark Feldman's ball club, especially when you're thinking about this time of the year, going into that tournament draw, and as you mentioned, a big game against Cleveland Heights Saturday. You want to have some momentum going in there, and this could be the time to get right.
Exactly. The schedule gets a lot tougher for Mark's crew down the stretch as they play some of the better teams in the LEL here in the next weeks following this Maple Heights game. So that makes this one even critically more important. Deasia Smith, nice job of spinning, put it up and in. She's got all 5 of her team's points, and it's 9-5 Lorain. Prashinsky into the forecourt, gets it on the left wing to Herman. Herman put it up, glass no, and the rebound is hauled in by Deasia Smith of Maple Heights. Her long outlet is too far and run down by Delasia Nixon of Lorain. Nixon, nobody picks her up, top of the key, 3, rim no. Rebound tipped out of bounds. Michael Cruz says that ball belongs to Maple Heights.
And for Lorain, you have to like what they're doing defensively, but they've fallen in love a little bit with that 3-point shot over the last few possessions, and they've missed their last 4. And it seems that they should just be really trying to chip away at this one and make sure that they're doing the right things as far as taking higher percentage shots with the lead.
Kashmir Williams is into the game from Maple Heights. And they pass it into Sturdivant. Sturdivant put it up, shot block. Nice job there on the block by Nelson Riley. Ahead to Herman. Herman drives into the lane, put it up, no good. Offensive rebound is back up and in, and that is Anaya Pamplin. Her first points, 11-5 Lorain. And the Mustangs with the basketball as we are under 40 seconds to go in the first quarter. On the dribble on the right wing, a long 3 by Smith, back rim no. Pamplin with a rebound for Lorain. She'll get it ahead to Herman. Nakia Herman into the front court. Wide open 3 is off the rim no. Missing that was Nixon. And the rebound out of bounds to Maple Heights. The other thing I think about the 3s, Jared, for Lorain, they're coming awfully quick in the possession. I'd like to see them work the ball around a little bit. I think that shot is always going to be there for you. To me, they're getting in love with it really quick.
Agreed. That if you have to settle for that one late in the possession, so be it, but don't make it your first look.
Prachinski with the rebound, or with the steal, I should say. Another turnover on Maple Heights. She drives to the basket, no good, but she's fouled, and it'll be Delasia Prachinski for 2. To Nate Taylor with a foul, her first, team's 4th. And again, Delasia Prashinsky looking for her first points of the game. Left-handed senior puts it up and in. Titans have outscored Maple Heights at the free throw line in the first quarter, a modest margin, 3-1. 12-5 Titans. Second free throw is good. So it's 13-5 with 7 seconds to go. Maple Heights going to have to hurry. I don't know if they realize how much time's on the clock. Sturdivant with it, 3 seconds, 2. Gets it to half court, pass too far, stolen away, and the Titans don't get off a shot. We've played one quarter in the books. Girls basketball from Lorain High School in the Lake Erie League. It is the Lorain Titans 13, Maple Heights 5. You're listening to the WEOL Girls Cage matchup on AM, on FM. Jared Kozar, we're online all the time.
At WEOL.com.
Neighborhood Alliance has been around since 1927, and because they're continually expanding their programs.
How many spots would you like?
Welcome back as we get set for quarter number 2. Again, after we're done, the Columbus Blue Jackets in action. They're at Edmonton to take on the Oilers. 9 o'clock pregame. They'll drop the puck in Edmonton at 9:30. Joey Nichols, what province is Edmonton located in Canada? See if Joey Nichols knows his Canadian geography. We're waiting. I'm guessing Joey doesn't know that Edmonton would be in Alberta.
Yeah, I was going to go with that. Alberta.
Well, how much time do you want, Joey? I gave you, you can't Google it. You got to be a little quicker on the mic, pal. All right, we'll see if we play along the Canadian geography later on. Shot goes up, no good. It's out of bounds to Lorain. Titans lead at 13-5. Cavaliers basketball back in action. The Cavs in Houston tomorrow night. From Houston, Texas, Tim and Jim have it for you. And that pregame gets underway tomorrow night at 7:30 with an 8 o'clock tip on the inbound. Titans get off a shot. We're going to have a foul. A couple of free throws here for Anaya Pamplin.
A couple scores to pass along. It is Midview leading Ridgeville girls basketball 31-18 at the intermission. End of one. Keystone all over Oberlin 24-5 at the end of the first quarter.
I thought Ridgeville had Olmsted Falls tonight. No?
Olmsted Falls, not Midview. Midview had Olmsted Falls Saturday. That was my degree of separation.
That's
yes.
all right.
It was Olmsted Falls.
So Falls is leading Ridgeville. Thank you.
Correct.
I hate to do that to you, but
no, you were basking in it.
Pamplin makes 1 out of 2. It's 14-5. No, I'll tell you why after the words why you knew that. Anyway, Maple Heights with the basketball. Brooklyn Dillard is into the basketball game for the first time. Her pass for Sturdivant. Sturdivant runs it down at midcourt. Sturdivant on the drive. Prashinsky has her defensively. Gets the ball. Jumper goes up from the foul line. It's an air ball. No good. Missing that was Markiah Moore. And Lorain gets it ahead to Pamplin. Puts it up. No, but she was fouled. She'll shoot a couple of free throws. So Anaya Pamplin will go right back to the charity stripe. Foul on Sturdivant, her first, team 6th. Pamplin was fouled in the act of shooting, so she'll shoot twice. Line right, first one is up and right there. Anaya Pamplin with 2 points. Sturdivant will come out of the basketball game. Coming back in for Maple Heights is Jaquay Clark, a 5'8 senior. She played in the first quarter, has not scored yet. In fact, the only player from Maple Heights that scored is Deasia Smith. Pamplin made 1 out of 2. It's 15-5 Lorain, their biggest lead of the night. 10-point lead with 7 minutes to go until the Cobos Insurance Center halftime show. Left wing 3 is up, and that's an air ball. Missing that is Morgan Wilson, and the Titans lose it out of bounds. Maple Heights will get it back. Inbound. And it's Brooklyn Dillard with the basketball. She's guarded by Prashinsky. On the right side, Mustangs down 10 with the basketball, and they throw it away. Jared, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say for Maple Heights, that's 12 turnovers.
14, but you were pretty close with the 14 there, just within 2. And I'd have to spot you the 2, I think, if you wanted to go maybe make a wager to see what it's going to be at the half.
I'd say they're going to be at 20. Let's put that as the over-under. Pregame gets it on the left side with the basketball. Guarded by Dillard, goes top of the key, gets the basketball to Nakia Herman. Herman now on the right side. The jumper goes up off the glass and in, and making that is Delasia Nixon off the pass from Herman. Her first two. Titans lead 17-5. Titans have outscored Maple Heights 4-0 in this quarter so far. Morgan Wilson, double teamed, in trouble. Pregame got the steal, and then Morgan Wilson kind of ran over her. Hopefully she's all right. Pregame jumped up, and Morgan Wilson gave her a pat on the back. Good sportsmanship there. She'll come out, and coming in, oh, they're saying this no foul. It's just turned it over, lost it out of bounds.
Wow, yeah.
She got rolled up on. Anyway, double team, we're going to get a foul now on the Titans being a little over aggressive. Janasia Nelson Riley with a foul, her first, team's fourth.
Had there been a foul against Maple Heights, that would have put them in the bonus, or the Lorain Titans, that is.
Right.
That's the way out.
Exactly. Dillard on the right side. They get it over to Jaquay Clark. She throws it off the hands of Morgan Wilson, out of bounds. 15th turnover on Maple Heights. Give the basketball back to Lorain.
That over's looking pretty good here for 5:55 left to go. Not that we're encouraging that.
It's not on DraftKings or FanDuel, is it?
No, I couldn't get that on there. Joe Bach might have a interscholastic site, right?
Could there be a few more TV commercials for that? Good grief. On the left side with the basketball are the Titans. They get it to Danielle Witten. Witten now with a wraparound pass for Pamplin that went out of bounds, and it will be Maple Heights basketball.
You could almost see that. Bet with Bach. Might be something.
Maybe.
Beat the book with Bach.
He's not saying no.
No.
He's not saying yes. He's contemplating his response. 5:35 to go in the half. Titans lead by a dozen. 2-2-1 full court press for Lorain. And they beat the press. They get it ahead to Jaquay Clark. And then after they beat the press, now we're going to get a kicking violation. Markiah Moore. And she went part soccer player. Now, I went online this week getting some information on Maple Heights, and I can tell you, they do not have a girls' soccer team.
Well, maybe Markiah Moore would like that to be a combination.
Could. Yeah. I mean, that was a definite soccer play right
She was shameless about it, kind of got a laugh out of it, so you have to admire that. She knew.
With the basketball are the Titans. They get it head to Nelson Riley. Back to the basket. Hands it off on the drive. Jumper goes up and in, and it's another one for Delasia Nixon. Nixon 4 in the quarter off the bench. And Lorain leading 19-5 to get another steal. They get it to Nixon, but she traveled. So another turnover on each team. Maple Heights looking for the right combination of 5 young ladies that can handle this press, and they're going to bring back into the game Jamise Green. Again, Deasia Smith is the only Mustang to score as they trail 19-5. Pass ahead, and Lorain went for the steal, and young lady lost her glasses. And that's Nakia Herman. Nakia was trying to grab the basketball with one hand, save her glasses with the other hand. Not easy to do. It'll be Maple Heights basketball after the tie-up. Matt Mossberger checking in to make sure that Herman's okay. She is. And Lorain is going to substitute 4 players at the next stoppage. With the basketball, it's going to get ahead. They get it to Brooklyn Dillard. Dillard right in front of Mark Feldman. And we get a jump stop. Shot goes up, no, but a foul, and a couple of free throws coming up for Deasia Smith. So Smith will shoot 2. In between free throws, the Titans are going to substitute 4 young ladies.
Halftime score, it is Black River leading Clearview 33-29 in girls basketball, and Medina with a 27-15 lead over Western Reserve.
Free throw up and in. Smith now with 6. First point of the second quarter for Maple Heights. Coming in for Lorain, Simone Witt is back into the game. Kayla Mosley, And also starters Jalen Carrington and Amina Mustafa. Second toss, no good. Simone Witt with the rebound. Witt with a long outlet, gets it to Mosley. Mosley on the drive, lays it up and in. Kayla Mosley with 4. Titans lead 21-6. We're approaching the midpoint mark of the second quarter as we're just over 4 minutes to go in the first half. Smith on the drive. Smith put it off the glass, no good. Offensive rebound by Moore, and she threw it away. Mosley with the steal. Mosley gets it ahead to Carrington. Carrington ahead of the pack, lays it up too strong. Offensive rebound, back up and in. Danielle Witten gets her first points. Lorain dominating, leading 23-6.
And they're making it look easy right now. The turnovers help, but good work on the glass by the Lady Titans.
Smith with a 3. It's an air ball out of bounds to Lorain. And for the Mustangs, coming back into the basketball game is Christina Sturdivant. She's the leading rebounder on this team, according to head coach Denisha Coward. And with the basketball is Amina Mustafa. Mustafa with it. Mustafa gets it across midcourt. Mustafa in between the circles. Pass on the right wing to Kayla Mosley. Mosley gets it on the left wing. With it is Mustafa. Mustafa going against the man-to-man defense will can it back out to Danielle Witten. Witten on the dribble. Sturdivant has her defensively. Pass over on the left wing. Now they get it back to Simone Witt. Witt over to Witten. And Witten, baseline, back outside. With it is Carrington. Carrington put it up. No, but she's fouled. Carrington will shoot 2, and the fouls are mounting for the Mustangs of Maple Heights.
Yeah, that's in the bonus now for the remaining 3 minutes of the second quarter. In the first half are the Lady Titans. And, the other thing you got to start thinking about now, Rob, is if they can go up 20. Well, the next step is 30, and then beyond that, we'll see if it comes to that.
Yeah, you could have that running clock situation is what I believe you're alluding to, and Carrington puts it up and in. 24-6. Yeah, if Maple Heights can't get the offense going, boy, at some point you would think Lorain would get enough to get to that. And second free throw, no good. Sturdivant with the rebound for Maple Heights. She'll pass it ahead to Morgan Witten. And Witten will get it to Brooklyn Dillard. Dillard, a freshman. On the right side, the jumper is an air ball. Missing that is Cherish Philpott, who checked in for the first time. She's a sophomore. Shot goes up. It's a 3. It's no good, but a foul. We're going to get 3 free throws for Jalen Carrington. That foul will go on Markiah Moore. So at the line is Jalen Carrington, 3 tosses. She is a 5'7" junior. She has 4 points in the game, averages 6.2 on the season. First one is right there. Titans have shot well from the line. They have made 8 to just 2 for Maple Heights. Carrington again. That's too strong, no good. And a sub for Lorain. And coming out of the basketball game, Danielle Witten. Checking back in is Jada Morales-Smith. She's back in with 2. Witten sits down with 2. And the free throw is up. That's an air ball short by Carrington, so she made just 1 out of the 3. And that will give the basketball back to Maple Heights. So they're going to inbound because when you air ball a free throw, that's a dead ball. And they'll inbound. And now for Maple Heights coming back into the basketball game is Deasia Smith. She has been Maple Heights' only offense tonight, has all 6 of their points. Full court press by the Titans. Smith has it. She carried the ball. Turnover, give it back to Lorain. Jared Kozar working hard on that out-of-town scoreboard. We'll hear more of that coming up during the Cobos Insurance Center halftime show. As we're getting into the late stages of January. Tournament draw for girls basketball this Sunday. Boys tournament draw next Sunday. That always tells me the finish line is approaching. you know, when you have those tournament draws coming up. Kayla Mosley with it. Mosley at the center circle. Back on the right side, or left side to Mustafa. Mustafa got it into Witt. Simone Witt with the basketball. Witt has Sturdivant on her defensively. Witt trying to get around Sturdivant. Sturdivant, nice job defensively. And she'll pass it back outside to Mustafa. And the Maple Heights bench were applauding Sturdivant's defensive work there. Now they get it back into Witt. Witt trying to beat Sturdivant. Can't. Got double team. Kicks it back out. The three is blocked by Morales-Smith. And it comes down to Carrington. Puts it up. No, but she's fouled. So Jalen Carrington will go back to the free throw line for 2. Stops the clock with 1:41 to go in the first half. Foul on Cherish Philpott off the bench, her first. And as Jared mentioned earlier, Maple Heights in the bonus.
And Lorain's had that philosophy throughout the first half, is to be able to follow shots and do a really good job rebounding the basketball in traffic, and another example there.
And Jared, another example you had mentioned earlier, we were settling for threes quickly. Well, now they've made 9 free throws, and that tells you right there they're not settling for threes. They're going to the basket, they're drawing fouls, and they're executing at the free throw line. And she makes them both. She has 10. And with the basketball coming into the forecourt, Maple Heights, we're going to get a whistle and a foul on the Mustangs, or I'm sorry, on the Titans. Let me correct myself. Carrington with the foul, her first. That's just the 6th, so next foul would put Maple Heights in a bonus. They're going to inbound with 1:32 to go into half. Cobos Insurance Center halftime show coming up. Jared will take a look at the stats in the out-of-town scoreboard. I'll give you the individual scoring. It's all coming up during the Cobos Insurance Center halftime show of today's girls cage matchup. Also, Joey Nichols will rack up some highlights for us, I'm sure. Joey Nichols back in studio control doing a great job as he always does. And you know, Jared, I don't know if before a game, is there anyone more entertaining for us than Joey Nichols out of the board ops? We get to talk to Joey about what his work's like, his week's like during the week. I look forward to those conversations.
It's a short list in terms of who might be as entertaining, but yeah, that's a lot of pressure to put on him about keeping everybody entertained pregame, and then B, getting those highlights. No,
he never disappoints.
No, there's always an anecdote or something that happened to Joey that can only happen to Joey, and we talk about it a little bit, before we get going.
1:11 to go at the half at the line. It will be shooting Delasha Prashinsky for Lorain as she was fouled, and now they're in the double bonus, so she will shoot 2. Prashinsky, good form at that free throw line, makes another one. She's got 3. And Lorain has now made 11 free throws to just 2 for Maple Heights. Made them both. (29-6), and now Lorain will drop out of the press. They pick him up at half court. Into the forecourt is Brooklyn Dillard. Dillard gets a screen. Dillard trying to get around Prashinsky. Good defense, but Dillard got it up and put it in. And for Maple Heights and Brooklyn Dillard, that's the first points from somebody not named Smith. Driving in with a jump stop, put it up, yes, and a foul. And making that was Jada Morales-Smith. So, at the free throw line, we're going to get a sub in here for Maple Heights. Coming back in is Cherish Philpott. Coming back in for Lorain will be Danielle Witten. Jim Moore will hand the basketball to Jada Morales-Smith, and she'll try to complete the three-point play the old-fashioned way. She missed that one. Yes, you young folks out there, Joey Nichols, you included, there was a time in basketball where there was no three-point line. That's why you say the old-fashioned way. You had to make it with a basket and a foul. You think Joey believes me?
He's got no choice right now, so yeah.
Prashinsky with the basketball. Prashinsky dribbling in inside that three-point line. Got it out to Simone Witt, and Witt traveled. Turnover gives it back to Maple Heights. They trail 31-8 with 23 ticks to go in the first half.
And if they can wind this clock, take the last shot, maybe get a good look at the bucket, they could draw closer than they've been in quite a while.
That's true. with the basketball is Brooklyn Dillard. Dillard gets it across midcourt. 1-3-1 zone for Lorain right now. 10 seconds to go in the half. Dillard still on the dribble. Dillard now gets rid of the basketball. She got it to Jamise Green, and Jamise Green was fouled 30 feet from the basket with 4 seconds to go in the half. And that foul on Jalen Crawford, her second, but more importantly, that's the 7th on Lorain. That means it's a 1-and-1 here for Jamise Green, a 5'3" senior. An opportunity for her to get in the scorebook. And like Jared mentioned earlier, an opportunity for Maple Heights to get a couple of points here right prior to halftime. Green line left, 1-and-1. 4.7 seconds to go in the half. Green puts the free throw up and good. Jamise Green makes it 31-9. Coach Feldman giving out instructions. Jamise Green, second free throw. That is no good. Rebound. Witt has it. Witt with a long outlet, and the Titans throw it away, and that'll be it for the half. One half of basketball is in the books. Our score at halftime, it's the Lorain Titans 31, the Maple Heights Mustangs 9. We're back with the Cobos Insurance Center halftime show after this timeout. You're listening to the WEOL Girls Cage Matchup. Tonight's game is on AM, on FM. Download our mobile app. Listen online anytime, Jared.
At WEOL.com.
Hi, I'm Bob
Can you
Kobos,
give me
and I've
two
lived
and
in
some
Lorain
highlights?
County my entire
Yep.
You're all right.
part of the community.
Yeah.
Insurance agent, your protection
Now,
comes
don't get
first.
cocky
That's
on
why
us,
I'm proud to
Joey.
represent Grange Insurance.
I can
Grange
bring you down
offers
just as soon as I
personalized
brought you
coverage,
up, son.
business,
Wow.
auto, home, and life, along with local service. Call Kobos Insurance Center at 440-324.
That's not designed to make you feel good, Joey.
I had to.
.com. Score at halftime, it's the Lorain Titans 31, Maple Heights 9. Lorain led after one, 13-5. And a big second quarter, outscoring Maple Heights 18-4 to extend that lead to 22, 31-9 here at intermission. Let's take a look at the individual scoring for the Lorain Titans, who come in with a record of 9-8. They're trying to get to 10-8 and 7-3 in the LEL. For the Titans, Jade Morales-Smith a basket and a couple of free throws for 4. Fairly balanced scoring for Lorain. As I counted up, they have 8 young ladies that have scored. Leading the way is Jalen Carrington, a 3-ball and 4 free throws. Carrington with 7. Kayla Mosley has a couple of field goals, 1 in each quarter for 4. Simone Witt, a first quarter field goal for 2. 17 points from the starting 5 of Lorain. Starting in that scoring was Amina Mustafa. Off the bench, good scoring, 14 points altogether, and good balance. Anaya Pamplin has a basket and 2 free throws for 4. It is Delasia Prashinsky, 4 free throws for 4. Delasia Nixon, a couple of second quarter field goals for 4. Danielle Witten, a second quarter field goal for 2. 14 off the bench, 17 for the starters gives Lorain their halftime total of 31. Seeing action in the first half but not scoring included Nakia Herman and Janasia Nelson Riley. Now for the Mustangs of Maple Heights, it is going to be Deasia Smith, a couple of field goals, 2 free throws for 6. That's the only points from the starters, so 6 points from the starting 5. Starting and not scoring, Tanae Taylor, Markaya Moore, Shanila Bird Van Horn, and Christina Sturdivant. Off the bench, Brooklyn Dillard with 2, Jamie Screen with 1. 3 off the bench, 6 from the starters gives Maple Heights their halftime total of 9. Seeing action off the bench and not scoring included Cherish Philpott, Jaquay Clark, Morgan Wilson, and Kashmir Williams. Get our halftime score. Lorain 31, Maple Heights 9. Jared, are you ready for the out-of-town scoreboard and the stats, or do you want me to take a break?
No, we can definitely keep it here for that, and
All right.
I can come up with what you need.
Go for it, then
And
take a break out of that.
We'll take a break after that when we talk about the stat story in the first half. The Maple Heights Mustangs found themselves 3 of 13 from the field, a 23% mark to this point in the contest. 3 of 6 at the line, 5 rebounds, 18 turnovers. The under would have been safe in your wager, Rob. They did take better care of the basketball during that final 3 or 4 minutes of that second quarter.
Kind of like where I set that line, though, at 20.
Exactly,
It got really close.
A lot of people would have got in on that. So for Lorain High Lady Titans, again, a nice 31-9 lead here at the break. They are 9 of 23 from the field in the first half, nearly 40% of the evening, 12 of 20 at the charity stripe, 15 rebounds to go along with 8 turnovers through 16 minutes of varsity basketball here this evening. We mentioned other games going on tonight. And it's a good thing when you talk about weather and some people that maybe were a little bit over anxious in terms of calling some games earlier. We
Calling school earlier.
Yeah, that as well. But we have a pretty decent slate of games going on right now. At the end of 3, Olmsted Falls on top of Ridgeville, 52-23. At the half, Keystone leading Oberlin, 46-14. A final score, Medina defeats Western Reserve Academy, 60-36. Black River leading Clearview at the break, 33-29. Westlake over Buckeye, 24-22. Now that is round 1 of the Great Lakes Conference Tournament, girls basketball style. Westlake with a 2-point lead over Buckeye at the intermission. And Midview leading Amherst in the SWC, 12-6 at the end of 1.
Thank you very much, Jared Kozar. We're going to step aside. When we come back, we've got the second half. It's Maple Heights trailing Lorain 31-9, and we'll be back after this as they continue with the halftime dance party here on the Cobos Insurance Center halftime show. It's all part of the WEOL Girls Cage matchup on AM, on FM. Download the mobile app, Jared. And again, our audio tonight is also part of WLCS TV 20.
And it's online at WEOL.com.
Neighborhood Alliance
Can you do
has been
2
around
for me,
since
boss?
Yes, I can.
Expanding their programs.
Joey.
People don't realize all that they
Joey.
do.
Yeah, I can.
I know.
Neighborhood Alliance improves the lives of
We like to use that one a lot.
child enrichment services, senior enrichment services, Haven Center Homeless Shelter.
Your
and
predecessor was a
emergency
guy named Danny
services,
Tarrant.
and
Yes,
family
We used it all the time.
support.
Danny.
MyNeighborhoodAlliance.org.
In fact, we used to add to Danny's, we used to say, do you stand for goodness or bad?
Keep your trees healthy and thriving. Call EcoTree Services. Hi, this is Tim
So,
Elford,
Joey,
radio
they
voice
might
of the
ask
cast.
you the same.
EcoTree is family-owned
stand
with
for
second-generation
goodness or badness,
arborists
Joey?
who love what
I would say I stand for goodness.
Good. You want to be good.
Good.
Yeah.
You want to be good.
love. EcoTree offers senior and military
Happy to hear that.
discounts, 24-hour emergency service, and estimates are free. Do what I did. Call EcoTree Services or find them online at ecotreeservices.com.
The WEOL Cage matchup, available on the WEOL mobile app.
And again, we want to remind you that Talk about the rest of the week in sports on WEOL. And as always, we've got a little bit of everything, whether it's NHL, NBA, high school boys and girls basketball, all kinds of good stuff. Ohio State, let's run through it. After this one, it's NHL hockey. The Blue Jackets are in Edmonton as they take on the Oilers. 9 o'clock pregame, 9:30 puck drop. Tomorrow night, NBA basketball. The Cavs are in Houston. They take on the Rockets. 7:30 pregame, 8 o'clock tip with Tim and Jim. Friday nights, the WEOL high school boys cage matchup. Could be a good one in the SWC. Rocco Nucci, Jared Kozar, Avon, and North Ridgeville will join the Cavaliers in progress as they end this road trip at Oklahoma City Friday night. Saturday morning, we've got the Nick Abraham Saturday Morning Sports Wrap-Up Show. Rocco and I will be in studio control. 1:30 in the afternoon, Ron Yance, Jared Kozar, Midview at Avon Lake. And then later on in the afternoon at 4:30, I'll be down at Keystone, Amherst at Keystone. That's a girls' game in the afternoon, and then my game is a boys' game in the late afternoon. 7:15 pregame, 8 o'clock tip, Ohio State at Red Hot, Indiana. The Hoosiers on a roll right now. And then we're going to join the Blue Jackets in progress as they take on the Seattle Kraken. If that's not enough sports for you, how about Sunday night? The Cavaliers will be back at Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse to host the Los Angeles Clippers. Tim and Jim will have the pregame at 6:30. They'll tip it off from downtown Cleveland at 7 o'clock. I'd say that's a pretty full sports week on WEOL.
Certainly is. 3 remaining high school games, the wrap-up show, and then a lot of college and pro basketball, NHL hockey sprinkled in there. Buckeyes lose last night. Illinois gets them. That's a tough one. Chris Holtman got a win over the weekend over Iowa, and then drops another one. So tough sledding for the Buckeyes as of late. And you mentioned that Avon game. That we're looking forward to that. Boy, they dropped one to Elyria last night. Elyria's red hot, 7 in a row, Rob.
They are absolutely red hot. The second time through, it's been good for Brett Lyrick and the Elyria boys. Talking about second time through the league. Simone Witt with the basketball. She's fouled. Let's go through the starters here to begin the third quarter. It's Amina Mustafa, Jada Morales-Smith, Jalen Carrington, Kayla Mosley, Simone Witt are the 5 out there for Lorain, their original starting 5. And it will be Jaquay Clark. Also out there is Tanae Taylor, talking about the Maple Heights Mustangs. Third starter is Denisha Smith. Free throw was no good. We also have Markea Moore. And the other young lady out here is going to be Brooklyn Dillard for Maple Heights to begin quarter number 3. Simone Witt trying to add to her 2 points. Line left, missed that one. Rebound comes down to Maple Heights, and getting that was Tanae Taylor. Taylor into the forecourt. Mustangs down 22. Get it to Denasia Smith. Deasia Smith lost control of it, loose on the floor. They battle for the basketball. We finally get a whistle, jump ball. Maple Heights will keep it. 3 officials again tonight. Jim Moore, Michael Cruz, Matt Mossberger. And they inbound it to Deasia Smith. She put it up, glass rim, no. Got her own rebound, battling back up, put it up, no. And it's going to be Carrington with the rebound for Lorain. Carrington gets it ahead, laying it up, yes, and a foul. Amina Mustafa, her first points of the night.
The technical foul was just assessed, I believe. Jim Moore would have got Coach Cowart with a T.
Okay.
Not sure what exactly was said.
There were a couple calls in the first half that I noticed that Denisha Coward was not happy with. So I don't know if that's a continuation of that, Jared. But Amina Mustafa will shoot the free throw. Put it up and in. And now we'll see who shoots the technical free throws. And it is going to be Jaden Morales-Smith. She has 4 points. And then I would believe it would also be Lorain basketball after this, would it not?
Correct.
So they'll get possession again. So big opportunity here. She misses the first one.
Especially coming off of the N1 that was converted. Yes. So it's a potential 6-point swing. Although one free throw has been missed, but you never know what happens. The possession here.
She made that one. So far it's a 4-point possession, 35-9 Lorain. It just might be a frustration thing for Coach Coward. Her team obviously struggling here tonight. And inbounding the basketball is Morales-Smith. Gets it back to Amina Mustafa. Mustafa with it. Mustafa into the forecourt. Pass it into Carrington. Man-to-man defense for Maple Heights. 7 minutes to go in the third. Carrington dribbles in, lays it up and in. 37-9. Now the thing that's tough for Coach Coward is she has to sit down for the rest of the game. You can't, once you get that first technical as a coach, you have to sit down. You can't walk up and down the sidelines. And I think for a lot of coaches, that's the worst part of it. The three ball goes up, it's no good, it's out of bounds, and that was Markea Moore.
Well, sure, I think coaches burn some energy, but also I think maybe at the girls' basketball level, and maybe I'm wrong, I think that they tend to respond to the coach better, where the coach is able to make moves. They can see it's a little bit different at the guys. I don't know if it's necessarily as prominent, but yeah, that can be an effect for the rest of the way out in this one.
Mustafa with the basketball. Three-pointer is up. It's off the back of the rim. No. Hauling in the rebound is Moore for Maple Heights. In the backcourt, she's going to get it ahead to Deasia Smith. Smith on the dribble. Smith will get around Witt, put it up, no good. Witt with the rebound, and then she had her pocket picked at a foul, and that foul is going to go on Jamise Green. Her first, team's third. And coming back in for Maple Heights is Kashmir Williams. So Lorain with the ball and a 28-point lead with 6:15 to go in the third quarter. Jared, I think if they get it to 30, would that be the running clock in the
35?
Oh, it is? I thought it was 30.
It's 35, and then you got to get it back below 30 in order to stop the clock.
We've got a steal by Jamise Green. Green with the basketball for Maple Heights. Green then had her pocket picked, and they're going to get ahead to Carrington. Carrington, nice bounce pass. Morales Smith put it up, no, but she's fouled, and that foul will go on Markea Moore. So Jada Morales Smith will shoot two. Again, tonight's game, the audio, we're pleased Joe Bach from WLCS TV 20 using our audio tonight as he shoots the videos as they always do here for TV 20. WLCS TV 20, Lorain City Schools Television on Spectrum Cable, that's 1025. The YouTube is Lorain Schools TV 20. Morales Smith made both free throws, and it's 39-9. You can follow us on Twitter at LCS_TV 20 or check out that YouTube station, Lorain Schools TV 20, and I think they're approaching, is it about 2 million views on that, Joe? I know it's quite a
he's
bit.
Over 2 million. He's been at 2.5 as of last year, so he's got to be approaching bigger numbers than that. You know what we're not pleased with Joe Bach about? I didn't think I'd have to deal with this late January, but yeah, we got air conditioning coming on over here, so yeah.
2.8 million.
I told you.
9?
2.9. So yeah,
we count all your fingers up
we
there,
might be able to crack 3
some of them from
if we can talk about the air conditioning going on here right now that we didn't think we'd have to deal with in late January.
2.9 million views on that YouTube station. So thanks to Joe Bach using our audio. A three ball goes up. Missing that one was Kashmir Williams from Maple Heights. The rebound, they step out of bounds. That will give the ball back to Lorain. Titans lead 39-9 with 5:22 to go in the third.
Don't you sell Joe Bach short on his .9? I mean, a million. That's almost $1 million, Rob, that you try to just cheat him out of.
No.
Not fair.
Joe said the same thing. I stand corrected. Into the forecourt. Come the Lorain Titans. They lead by 30. On the drive, laying it up too strong. Missing that was Kayla Mosley. And Maple Heights with a rebound and a 30-point deficit as we approach the 5-minute mark of the third quarter. That's getting a screen on the drive. A pass for Williams over her head out of bounds. Subs for Maple Heights coming back into the basketball game. Christina Sturdivant played in the first half, didn't score. Morgan Wilson played in the first half, didn't score.
Joe, when you cross 3 million, do you know if the Google folks come out here and award you with a plaque or a prize? I think they should. Yeah, I'm hoping for you, Joe.
You know, McDonald's always said millions and millions served. Is that going to, I don't know how, if Joe Bach can incorporate something like that. Simone Witt gets the basketball. She puts it in. She has 4, and Lorain leads 41-9, and they have outscored Maple Heights 10-0 so far in this third quarter. A left side three ball, missing that was Williams. Offensive rebound, Sturdivant put it back up, no good. And getting the rebound for Lorain is Carrington. Her pass ahead and laying it up and in is going to be Kayla Mosley. She's got 6 and it's 43-9. So a 34-point lead with 4:10 to go in the third quarter. They get it into the forecourt. They get it ahead to Williams. Double team, back to Williams. Pass for Wilson, shot blocked, and it's out of bounds. It'll be Maple Heights basketball. And for Maple Heights, checking into the game, Talia Davis will come in. Williams with her inbound. She threw it off of Mosley and out of bounds, so Maple Heights will try it again. And they inbound it. They get it to Brooklyn Dillard. Dillard with a basketball, left-hand dribble. She is picked up defensively by Morales Smith. Got a screen from Sturdivant. Top of the key three. Missed it. Rebound Witt. Lorain with the ball. 34-point lead. They outlet it. Laying it up and laying it in is Kayla Mosley. And it makes it 45-9, which should give us a running clock now, with 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. And if it's not, we'll send Jared Kozar to correct the scorers table. Sturdivant with the basketball. Sturdivant, jump stop, got away with a walk, threw it at the basket, no good, out of bounds. It'll be Lorain basketball. Oh, I'm sorry, it went off of a Titan, so it'll be Maple Heights basketball. And indeed, we do have our running clock. And on the inbound, they try to get it back to Sturdivant. It was stolen away by Witt. Witt with the basketball for Lorain. Witt in the backcourt. Witt will get it ahead to Kayla Mosley. Mosley to Jada Morales-Smith. She'll throw it away. And she'll throw it out of bounds. It'll be Maple Heights basketball. And checking into the basketball game for the Titans, we are going to have double zero. Anaya Pamplin also back into the basketball game is Nakia Herman. Delasha Nixon comes back into the basketball game with 4 points. And Delasha Perchinsky back into the game with 4 points. Dillard with the basketball, baseline right, and it gets knocked out of bounds. It'll be Lorain basketball, as we're in a running clock situation with 2:10 to go in the third quarter. 45-9 Lorain.
Must have been a tough week of practice at this point for Witt, as she just sort of threw that ball over at the four girls that were getting ready to check in over there, as just to say, spread out, like Mo would do in the Three Stooges.
14-0. Lorain has outscored Maple Heights in the third quarter, and they turn it over. Sub coming in for Maple Heights. Jaquay Clark has not scored tonight. She's been in the game. She's going to replace Christina Sturdivant. And it's a jumper on the left side. Missing that one are the Maple Heights Mustangs. That was Talia Davis missing it. Bounce pass into the forecourt, laying it up too strong. Missing that was Herman. And it's out of bounds to Maple Heights. Checking in for the Mustangs, as we are going to have Deasia Smith come back in. Deasia tonight with 6 points. She has 6 of her team's 9 points. 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Running clock, Lorain up 45-9. Deasia Smith with the basketball. Smith in a 2-3 zone. Gets it on the right side. Williams for three. Missed it short. Rebound, Lorain. And with the basketball, they get it ahead. They throw it away, though, as they try to get it ahead to Delasha Nixon. Too far for her. Out of bounds to Maple Heights. So the Mustangs will inbound. Half a minute to go, third quarter. Coach Feldman giving the defensive instructions to his team as the final seconds of the third quarter wind down, and they're in a 2-3 zone. Deasia Smith dribbling, maybe going for the last shot, not sure. 15 seconds to go in the quarter. Deasia Smith with no hurry, got it to Williams. She'll launch a three. That's an air ball short. And on the rebound, we're going to get a jump ball, and it will go to Lorain. And that is going to do it for the third quarter. As with the running clock, time will run out. We've played 3 quarters of basketball. Our score, it's Lorain 45, Maple Heights 9. We're back with the fourth quarter after this timeout on the WEOL Cage matchup on AM, on FM. Jared Kozar, we're online.
At WEOL.com.
FM.
Welcome back. Fourth quarter just underway. Rob Polinsky, Jared Kozar, WEOL, and also WLCS using our audio here tonight. And Jared, it's great to have WLCS, Joe Bach, and he's not alone here tonight.
Well, no, Joe Bach, ultra talented, but even he can't do it all himself. He's got Terry Trout helping out in the studio, and he's ably assisted by a lot of tech students out there tonight. And we have Drake Hance, Devin Hood, and Devion McGill all contributing in different capacities walking around the gymnasium here tonight. Good to see them, and just great stuff out of WLCS TV 20.
Yeah, and again, thanks to them for using our audio here tonight. We have a traveling violation on Maple Heights, and that is going to go on Brooklyn Dillard. For Lorain to begin this fourth quarter with this running clock, having outscored Maple Heights 14-0 in the third quarter to take a 31-9 lead to 45-9. We have got Prashinsky with the basketball. It's also Herman is out there. The other young ladies are Witten, Pamplin, and now with the basketball, Nixon. Nixon will dribble it back out. Man-to-man defense for Maple Heights. Pamplin with the screen, and we get a whistle and a foul. And this will go on Maple Heights. It'll be their 6th. Next foul puts Lorain in the bonus. Inbounding, Delasia Nixon. Nixon looking. Got it to Pamplin. Pamplin on the left side. Prachinski for 3, missed it. Rebound. It's going to be out of bounds off of the Maple Heights Mustangs, Talia Davis. So it's Davis, Wilson. Also on the floor is Smith. To begin this fourth quarter, they also have Jaquay Clark, and the 5th young lady is Morgan Wilson. On the drive as Nixon lays it up, no, and she was shoved hard. That's an intentional foul on the Mustangs, and that is going to go on Morgan Wilson. That means 2 free throws and the ball.
Yeah, Matt Mossberger was quick to throw the X up on that one, and knew what he was doing, I think, when they talk about that. And they're going to march it all the way over here.
Well, they're going to, you shoot when it's
right.
Intentional. You don't have anyone else in the lane. So she'll shoot the 2 free throws and then get the ball back. Fourth quarter clock winds down. We want to remind you we've got the EcoTree Services postgame show right after the ball game. And then after that at 9 o'clock for the pregame, it'll be the Blue Jackets in Edmonton. And missing that free throw is Delasia Nixon. Delasia, a 5-foot junior, has 4 points in the ball game. They all happened in the second quarter. And a couple of field goals, I should say.
Got a final score to pass along. Keystone Lady Wildcats defeat the Lady Phoenix of Oberlin 69-26 in Lorain County League play.
Nixon missed both free throws. Now Lorain will inbound the ball. Up 45-9 as we go under 5 minutes to go in this game, as we've had a running clock for most of the second half. Maple Heights has not scored in the second half, Jared. Brzezinski with the basketball. Brzezinski trying to get it inside. It was knocked away by Wilson and out of bounds. Good job of denying the ball by Wilson. It'll be Lorain to inbound.
Girls basketball elsewhere this evening. Another final. Black River upends Clearview 63-50 at the half. Avon over Elyria 36-10.
Inbound to Pamplin. Pamplin put it up, glass it in. Anaya Pamplin has 6. And it is 47-9 Lorain. 2-3 zone, which they've been in most of the second half. They pressed in the first half, have not since about middle of the second quarter on, and we get an offensive foul as that is Deasia Smith. Maple Heights came in 3-12. They're going to drop to 3-13. A couple of their wins in the league have been against Bedford and Shaw. They're going to play Bedford this Saturday. It's another chance for them to get a win. Cleveland, or I should say Lorain, is going to go to 10-8 overall, 7-3 in the LEL. They've got a tough one Saturday over at Cleveland Heights.
Yeah, 7-3 conference record, really good, but again, some of the meat still to go.
Brzezinski gets it on the left side. Nixon for 3. It's an air ball. Long offensive rebound. Back up and in. And making that basket is Herman. Nakia Herman gets in the scorebook. It's 49-9 Lorain. 18-0 second half for the Titans. On the right wing, a step back 3. That's an air, or I should say that drew the back iron, almost an air ball. And we're going to get a traveling violation on Maple Heights. Now we're going to get under 3 minutes to go in this basketball game. Again, thanks to Joe Bach and his crew from WLCS TV 20 using our audio here tonight. Appreciate that. 2.9 million views on the YouTube station, Lorain Schools TV 20. You can follow us on Facebook at LCS_TV 20. And Lorain City Schools Television is WLCS TV 20. On Spectrum Cable, it's 1025. A foul on Maple Heights. They're 9th of the half. Lorain has committed just 1. And we're going to get a couple of free throws here as we're under 2.5 minutes to go. And it's Deasia Brzezinski, who has 4 points tonight, and they're all from the foul line, all in the first half.
Got another final to pass along. Olmsted Falls knocks off Ridgeville. They double them up, Rob, 61-30. This stage in the game, we could say it. Is anybody going to be able to stop Falls? Locally, that hasn't been the case.
No, it hasn't. And I'll tell you, am I surprised that they beat North Ridgeville? No, obviously not. They're the cream of the crop. I'm surprised they beat them by 31.
Doubled them up at home.
That's a good North Ridgeville team.
Right. A lot of talent and productivity there. That's a statement for
it sure
Old
is.
Falls. They took care of Midview late in the game on Saturday and then just rolled it right into that. So you think about 2 tough SWC opponents, and they mowed them over.
And Olmsted Falls, one of the premier teams in Northern Ohio. 51-9, Lorain leads as we're approaching 90 seconds to go in this basketball game. And guess the only question is, will Maple Heights score in the second half? So far, they have not. They take a left side 3, and they do. Boy, you asked the question, and there you go. And glad to see him get some points in the second half. Deasia Smith with a 3. Jared, I was going to say, I don't think I've ever seen a half of basketball where a varsity team didn't score. We almost had it.
You can say you still haven't, so that's a good thing.
Yes. Dribbling inside is Nakia Herman. So they try to milk some clock now as we're approaching 1 minute to go in the basketball game. Herman had her pocket picked from behind by Sturdivant, and then Sturdivant was fouled. And that foul will go on Janasia Nelson Riley. Her second, just the second on the Titans in the second half. And with it is Deasia Smith. Smith with the basketball. Smith top of the key, 40 seconds to go. Maple Heights trailing 51-12. Smith put it up, no, but she was fouled. She'll shoot a couple. And we're going to get Deasia Smith at the line for 2. She's got 9 points. She'll try to add to that. This is going to take up most of the rest of the game, if not the rest of the game.
I think it's going to, bleed right into that. We'll see how this works.
Smith missed the first one. As the rebound gets away, it definitely will take the rest of the game. We're down to 5 seconds. Michael Cruz is going to hand her the ball. They stopped the clock, although I don't know why they did, because you're going to shoot the free throw anyway. Second free throw, around rim and out, and that's going to do it. Our final score, it was Lorain 51 and Maple Heights 12. We're back with the EcoTree Services postgame show after this timeout on the WEOL Girls Cage Matchup on AM 930, FM 100.3. Download our mobile app. You can listen online anytime you want, Jared.
At WEOL.com.
And welcome back. The postgame show is brought to you by EcoTree Services. With roots that date back to 1964, EcoTree is owned by second-generation family arborists. Make them your complete tree care company. Rob Polinsky, Jared Kozar, high atop the Joe Bach press box here at Lorain High School.
Oh, you're gonna name it the Joe Bach press box. I didn't think he got that till he was actually retired this time.
I just gave it to him.
Wow. Well, there's breaking news, folks.
There you go. Scoring by quarters as Lorain wins at 51-12. They led after 113-5, 31-9 at half. Outscored Maple Heights 14-0 to go up 45-9 after 3. And they outscored Maple Heights 6-3 in the fourth to win at 51-12. With the win, Lorain is 10-8, 7-3 in the LEL. With the loss, Maple Heights will drop to 3-13 overall on the campaign. Individual scoring for the Lorain Titans is just about everybody scored. Amina Mustafa with 3, Jada Morales-Smith with 6, Jalen Carrington led a balanced scoring attack with 10, Kayla Mosley at 8, and Simone Witt with 4, 31 points from the starting 5. Off the bench, Anaya Pamplin with 6, Delasia Prashinsky with 6, Nakia Herman with 2, Delasia Nixon with 4, Danielle Witten with 2. 20 off the bench, 31 for the starters, gave Lorain their victorious head total of 51. Janasia Nelson Riley saw action. She did not score. She's the only Titan that played that didn't score. For Maple Heights, Deasia Smith had 9. She was the only starter that scored. Then off the bench, Brooklyn Dillard with 2, Jamise Green with 1. 3 off the bench, 9 for the starters, gave Maple Heights their total of 12. So Lorain gets the season sweep of Maple Heights here in Lake Erie League play. And Jared, if you got some final stats in the out-of-town scoreboard,
we can do that. Yeah, absolutely. For Maple Heights, they finished the ball game 4 of 26 from the field, 3 of 8 at the charity stripe, 11 rebounds to go along with 25 turnovers for the contest. For the victorious Lorain High Titans, they win the ball game tonight, 51-12. They were 17 of 35 from the field, basically 30% for the contest, 18 of 31 at the charity stripe, and those really added up and were able to salt this one away early. Was Lorain High's ability to convert at the free throw line throughout. 21 rebounds, 13 turnovers round out their statistical story and the breakdown here of tonight's contest. Final scores here tonight before we get rolling. It was, again, we said Olmsted Falls knocks off Ridgeville 61-30. Keystone takes down Oberlin 69-26. It was Medina over Western Reserve Academy 60-36. Black River best Clearview 63-50. Westlake wins in their first round Great Lakes tournament game. Great Lakes Conference plays that conference tournament in the first round. Went to Westlake 45-34 over Buckeye. At the break, it was Midview leading Amherst 22-18 and Avon all over Elyria 36-10 halfway through that one.
All right, well, Jared, great to be here with you. Thanks for all your help as always.
Pleasure as always, Rob. Joe Bach, thanks to you.
Yes.
Thanks to WLCS for having us. Again, we want to give a shout-out to the folks that were making this one possible for Joe Bach tonight. Terry Trout, you know him. He's been around this program for a long time and definitely a big part of what goes on at WLCS TV 20. He's in the studio tonight, and the folks helping Joe and Terry out were Drake Hance, Devin Hood, and Davion McGill this evening doing a great job in and around the gymnasium.
And they're all career tech students, so good luck to them. And again, as you mentioned, thanks to WLCS TV 20. And if you're watching on Spectrum Cable in Lorain, that is station 1025. And one more time, remind you that to check out the YouTube station, Lorain Schools TV 20. As Joe Bach corrected me, they are at 2.9 million views. That's just going to about do it to us. Thanks to Jared Kozar. Thanks to Studio Control. Back to Joey Nichols. And Joey, now you know Alberta is in, or I should say Edmonton is in Alberta. Speaking of that, we've got NHL hockey coming up in about 35 minutes. The Blue Jackets are at Edmonton. So for Joey and for Jared Kozar, this is Rob Polinsky reminding you one more time, the final, it was Lorain 51 and Maple Heights 12. And the EcoTree postgame show was brought to you by EcoTree Services. Tonight's ball game with Maple Heights and Lorain brought to you by Neighborhood Alliance, Cobos Insurance Center, and by EcoTree Services, your complete tree care company. One last time, your final, girls basketball was Lorain 51 and Maple Heights 12. Have a good night, everybody.